The iPhone 7 Apple event is happening this Wednesday. Just 2 more days until the iPhone 7 is going to be unveiled. Now, I've done quite a few videos covering the iPhone 7, especially in my Finally Some Rumors series. Now, there are a few things that we didn't have that much information about, and that was the actual sensor size, and then the IP certification, for example. We knew that the iPhone 7 was going to be water resistant, but we didn't actually know what IP certification the iPhone 7 was going to have. But good news, over the past few days, the final iPhone 7 details have emerged, and now we know everything there is to know in terms of the iPhone 7, all the specs, the camera details, and the design details, including that camera sensor and the exact IP rating and more. So hey everyone, welcome to the Zone of Tech. I'm Daniel, and here are 15, this is 10, but yeah, here are 15 new confirmed iPhone 7 details. Enjoy. So starting off at number 1, we have the Apple A10 chip. So in our previous videos, I told you guys that this was either going to be a 6-core processor or a dual-core 2.4 to 2.45 GHz processor, which was most likely going to happen. And this has now been confirmed. The Apple A10 chip is a dual-core 2.4 to 2.45 GHz processor. Awesome. And this is a huge performance boost over the iPhone 6s's 1.84 dual-core chip. Keep in mind that this is also a 10nm process, so the die size is also smaller, and yeah, it's also more power efficient than the Apple A9 chip, and 2.4 to 2.45 is the maximum frequency that the Apple A10 chip can run. Now, there is a chance that Apple will downclock this to 2.2 to 2.3 GHz because of the overheating and power consumption issues, especially on the iPhone 7. Yeah, this might happen. But on the iPhone 7 Plus, 2.4 GHz is most likely what we're going to get. Again, this is a huge performance leap over the iPhone 6s. The second confirmed spec detail is in terms of the RAM. So in my previous videos, I told you guys that the iPhone 7 was going to come with 2 GB of RAM, and then the iPhone 7 Plus or the iPhone 7 Pro was going to come with 3 GB of RAM. And this has now been confirmed, yeah, 2 GB on the iPhone 7 and 3 GB on the iPhone 7 Plus. So why 3 GB on the iPhone 7 Plus? Well, the reason for this is the dual camera module, which is coming with the iPhone 7 Plus, and the Plus will have much more camera processing to do, so that's why we also need more RAM. But in everyday use, those phones should be pretty similar. Number 3, a while ago, Apple was testing 3 separate iPhone 7 models, the iPhone 7, the iPhone 7 Plus, and the iPhone 7 Pro. The Pro was the iPhone that came with a dual camera module and that smart connector, and apparently, well, neither of these are going to make it to the final product. The 5.5-inch iPhone is going to be called the iPhone 7 Plus, and it will come with a dual camera module. However, it won't come apparently with that smart connector at all. So what do you guys think about this? Let me know in the comments. Would you have picked an iPhone 7 Pro with a smart connector or an iPhone 7 Plus with 2 GB of RAM and no smart connector and no dual camera module at all? Number 4, this is a pretty big one, water resistancy. So we already knew that the iPhone 7 was going to be water resistant. I actually talked about this a lot in my previous videos, but what we didn't know was the actual IP certification. Now, I believe this to be IP68, so to match the one on the Galaxy S7 and the S7 Edge. However, apparently it's not going to be IP68, just IPX7. Just like on the Apple Watch. So in case you don't know how the IP certification works, basically the ingress protection level, you have 2 numbers. The first one is the dust protection, and 6 is the highest one possible. 6 means full dust protection, but the S7 and the S7 Edge do come with full dust protection, and the Apple Watch and the iPhone 7 have an X there, and X means that, well, they have no idea what kind of dust protection this device has. So basically it hasn't been fully tested for dust protection. It does have some kind of dust protection, but no level has been assigned to that dust protection. So it can be anything from 1 to 6. And the second number, the 8 in the S7's case, that's for water protection. Now 8 means submersion in more than 1 meter of water, and the Samsung Galaxy S7's case, it's up to 1.5 meters, up to 30 minutes, and 7 means up to 1 meter, up to 30 minutes, so just a bit less than 8. And this is what the Apple Watch has and what the iPhone 7 is going to have, IPX7. Now usually Apple does love understating their product capabilities, so this might actually be better than IPX7. Number 4, we have the Headphone Jack, and yeah, we already know that a Headphone Jack is going away for good. However, we weren't sure what's going to be included in the box. Some rumors have suggested that an adapter is going to be included inside the box. Other rumors have suggested that only Lightning headphones are going to be included inside the box. I personally believe that both would be included inside the box, and this has now been confirmed. Both Lightning headphones and an adapter would be included inside the box. What's new, however, are the new headphones, the new wireless headphones that are going to be called AirPods. Now, these are going to be sold separately. However, in some of the boxes, in some of the leaked boxes, in the 256GB iPhone 7 Plus, they actually come bundled in the box. So we might see these included in the hind options of the iPhone 7s. However, we'll most likely be able to purchase them separately. Next up, number 5, we have the capacity. So in my previous videos, I said that the iPhone 7 is going to come with 32, 64, and 128GB of storage, whereas the iPhone 7 Plus is going to come with 32, 128, and 256 gigabytes as well. Now 32 is going to be the baseline option, so this has been confirmed finally, and then we are also going to get 32, 128 and 256 on both the iPhone 7 and the iPhone 7 Plus as well. And this is pretty big news. This is awesome because we will basically be getting double the storage for the same price. So 32, 128 and 256 on both the iPhone 7 and the iPhone 7 Plus. Number 6, the Force Touch home button. So this is now being confirmed. Force Touch home button is coming with the iPhone 7 and the iPhone 7 Plus. And this basically means that the home button won't be pressable anymore. It will basically work in the exact same way as the trackpad on the 12-inch MacBook and the new MacBook Pros. You basically press it and then a vibration motor beneath it will give you the impression that you have pressed the home button. And on the MacBooks, the trackpad works really well. It's almost the same feeling as actually clicking a trackpad. Now, we knew that this was coming with the iPhone 7, however, we didn't actually know why. I believe this was coming because Apple wanted to make more space inside the iPhone. However, it's apparently coming because of water resistancy. Having a home button that doesn't click, that doesn't go inside the phone is much better when it comes to water resistancy. Next up, number 7, let's talk about the display. So the resolutions have now been confirmed. Unfortunately, we're not getting a resolution bump on either the iPhone 7 or the iPhone 7 Plus, 1334 by 750 on the iPhone 7 and 1080p on the iPhone 7 Plus. However, it has now been confirmed that the DCI-P3 display that's found in the iMac 5K and the new iPad Pros, that one's coming with the iPhone 7 and the iPhone 7 Plus as well. So much better color reproduction, much better contrast and also deeper blacks. And finally, the True Tone display that's currently found in the iPad Pro 9.7, that's also coming with the new iPhone 7s as well. Number 8, this is a really interesting one. I haven't actually talked about this one before. Amplifier and earpiece speaker. So the iPhone 7 is going to come with 2 speakers, actually 2 speaker grills, not 2 speakers. So apparently the second speaker grill is not actually going to hold a secondary speaker, but an amplifier instead. So basically the sound coming from the first speaker, the one on the right, is going to be much more powerful, much louder than before. However, what's really interesting now is that the earpiece, this one, is actually going to be a full-fledged speaker now. And this means that the iPhone 7 is going to be the first iPhone with actual stereo speakers, so one on the top, and then you obviously have the other one on the bottom. Even though they're not exactly positioned symmetrical, one of them is at the top and the other one is on the side, well, the sound quality is still going to be much better than on the iPhone 6s. Number 9, this is also a pretty interesting one. Apparently the True Tone flash that's on the back of the iPhone, that's going to be upgraded as well. So currently the True Tone flash comes with 2 LEDs, one of them provides warm light and the other one provides cool light, and then the iPhone combines those two and mixes those up depending on the picture so that the picture looks much more natural. So this is going to be upgraded from 2 LEDs to 4 LEDs, so we're going to get 2 warm LEDs and 2 cool LEDs. Then another sensor that's going to be upgraded is the Ambilight sensor or the light sensor. So this will be upgraded so that the iPhone can tell the difference between low light and high intensity light much faster than before, so it can increase or decrease the brightness when needed. Number 11, another sensor receiving an upgrade is apparently going to be the Persimmony Sensor. So this is the one that tells the iPhone that an object or your face is close to the display, so it can pretty much turn off the display when you're having a call, for example. So this is going to be improved by using laser detection instead of LED detection, and this will result in much faster detection, a higher recognition distance, and also gesture detection in the future. Number 12, the battery capacity has also been confirmed. So in our previous videos, I told you guys that the iPhone 7 was going to have a 1960 mAh battery and that the iPhone 7 Plus is going to have a battery between 2800 to 2900 mAh. So for the iPhone 7, it's actually going to be this exact same capacity, 1960, so this has been confirmed. And then for the iPhone 7 Plus, this is going to be actually higher than I predicted. 2910 on the iPhone 7 Plus, that's a pretty big improvement over the iPhone 6s Plus. Next up, let's talk about the cameras. So this was the only thing that I had no clue about, the actual sensor size of the iPhone 7 and the iPhone 7 Plus. And this is finally being confirmed now. So on the iPhone 7, we have a sensor size of 1/2.6 inches. That's quite a lot larger than 1/3 inches that we had with the iPhone 6s. And then interesting enough, on the iPhone 7 Plus, we actually have 1/3 inches. So that's smaller than on the iPhone 7 and the same size as on the iPhone 6s Plus. Now, because the sensor is larger, the actual pixel size has also been increased. So now we have 1.35 micron size pixels on the iPhone 7 from 1.22, so that's a pretty big improvement. So far the iPhone 7 looks much better in low light than the iPhone 7 Plus. Now in my previous videos, I actually talked about the dual camera module patent by Lynx Technology, the one in which they use 2 camera modules to reduce image noise by combining those 2 shots. So hardware wise, yes, the iPhone 7 looks much better in low light, but software wise, the iPhone 7 Plus might be the king. Really curious to see which one is better. I'll definitely be doing a lot of tests once I get my hands on them. Also, one thing to point out, the S7 has a 1/2.5 inches sensor and 1.4 micron size pixels, so it's much better in low light, at least on paper, than the iPhone 7 and the iPhone 7 Plus. Again, camera tests coming as soon as I get my hands on them, so yeah, definitely feel free to subscribe if you want to see those as soon as I get my hands on the devices, which should be pretty soon. Next up, number 14, we have that famous Aperture. So in my Final Leaks and Rumors series, I believe the Aperture to be between f1.7 to match the one on the Galaxy S7 and the S7 Edge to f1.9. And apparently it's going to be not f1.7 but f1.9. Now this is still a step up from the f2.2 aperture that we have with the iPhone 6s, however when compared to the S7 and the S7 Edge, those come with an f1.7 aperture, so again on paper the S7 still looks much better in low light. And finally number 15 or 16 because I did mess up a number, so number 16 we have the brand new color options. So in terms of the color options, silver, gold and rose gold are all here to stay. Now in terms of space gray, this one in my previous videos I actually told you guys that this was going to be replaced by a darker version of space gray, one that would match the one on the Apple Watch and the 12-inch MacBook. And this is now being confirmed. The darker space gray is coming and apparently it's called dark black. Why not just black? No idea. But yeah, dark black is coming with the iPhone 7 and apparently there's going to be one more color, a fifth color option for the iPhone 7, and it's going to be this one, glossy black, which is going to be called piano black actually. And this is most likely how the new color is going to look like. It's going to be really similar to the Apple Watch, to the stainless steel black edition of the Apple Watch. It's going to look really premium. And apparently the reason why we haven't heard about this color option before is because it's really limited. So it's only going to be available to the 256GB options, possibly only the iPhone 7 Plus, the 256GB option of the iPhone 7 Plus. But yeah, let me know in the comments, what do you guys think about the iPhone 7 so far? Now that we know pretty much everything there's to know in terms of the iPhone 7, are you going to get one? For me, it's definitely more appealing than before, especially with that new color option, especially that glossy black, and the fact that we're getting double the storage from 64 to 128 and then 256 as well. Other than that, feel free to subscribe if you want to see more videos, more iPhone 7 related videos. I'll have a lot of videos covering the iPhone 7 as soon as I get my hands on it, which should be pretty soon. The iPhone 7 is almost here, the event is this Wednesday, so yeah. I'll be posting more iPhone 7 related updates on my Twitter account, ZenofTech, so feel free to follow me there as well. And also if you have enjoyed this video, feel free to give it a huge like. And other than that, yeah, don't forget to turn on notifications on my channel on both desktop and mobile. On mobile by simply clicking on that bell icon next to my channel so that you're notified as soon as I upload a brand new epic video. And finally, if you were epic enough to make it to this point of this video, let me know in the comments by saying I was epic enough to make it to the end of the video. So yeah, thank you all for watching this video. I'm Daniel and I'll see you guys in my next one. ZenofTech, signing out. Cheers.